Yeah, just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I ran into two people today that work at Starbucks. Saw them outside of Starbucks. I said, "What's up, girls? Let's party." Smile Storage. Got a load of animal feed. I'm getting the muffler fixed on this tomorrow. Oh, I see Mike's Tropical Fish went out of business. You know, those tortoises Marty's got, I think they're cool and I like watching them, but I don't want one. You got to get them this specialty stuff all the time. Kale, arugula, squash, cucumbers. Fresh, too. Who the hell wants to fuck with that every day? Some days I don't feel like opening a can of dog food. You sign on to those, man. You got about that. They're going to outlive you, too. Forget that shit. I didn't come into this world wanting to buy arugula every damn day of the week. People leaving nasty comments about the Mexicans. It's the truth. Can't help it if you can't take it. Nobody minds these hard-working Mexicans over here abiding the law. No way. Why would you? It's the damn crooked, raping, murdering ones we don't want. We got enough of those of our own. I just be kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, those pilots in that airplane saw that damn helicopter right before it smacked them. They got the black boxes and he pitched up real quick. It means he saw that damn thing, tried to get the hell out of the way. He'd have probably been fucked. I think he was on about a 2-mile final, probably 135, 40 knots. If he'd have pitched that up high like that, it probably crashed anyway. That sucks. I had 2 close calls flying. Not super close, but one time I was going down to exit 3 in Ohio, Wauseon, Ohio from Ann Arbor. You could land in this field and go to this restaurant and eat. And on the way down there, man, we damn near got in midair with one of those Quicksilver. It was easy, long easies, I guess it was, not Quicksilver. Like John Denver type airplane. And another time I was leaving Ann Arbor, heading somewhere out Traverse City, I think. And it was a little hazy, man. I bet I came within 50 yards of a Beech 18. That was like back 78, 79, something like that. No, it wouldn't have been that. It would have been like 81 or 82. Yeah. Can happen, man. Congested airspace. People can't figure out, like, how can you not see another plane? I'll tell you exactly how. If you're going to little airports like Upper Arm where I'm at right now, it's easy to spot other planes. And if you're talking to an approach or a controller, and you're in a rural area or there's not a lot of traffic, you can see them. It's because it's mostly dark, you know, wooded areas, that kind of thing. But when you're in a congested area, like, and you're low, like there, New York City, Chicago, Detroit, anywhere where you're low, even though it's got a blinking, rotating beacon, who knows what else, strobes, it kind of just meshes in with everything. It's like being in a football field laying on your back, looking around, and there's lights covering the whole thing. And there are some people that seem to have a really good knack at like seeing things in the air, and I don't think I was that good at it. I think I was okay at it. But when they tell me like traffic 5 miles, 2 o'clock, if I didn't see them, I'd say looking. And I know some of these guys out there must say they see them when they don't, just because they don't want to seem stupid. And I got an idea that helicopter pilot was just probably, he was VFR. The other airplane was on an instrument approach. And he probably was just, all you got to do is look at a chart for a second, or a guy say, hey, look over there, isn't that beautiful? And the closure rate is so quick. Now, it wasn't too bad there because it was just a helicopter flying into the airplane. It looked to me like it was like at a 90-degree angle, but when you've got two, even planes under 10,000 feet and they're doing 250 knots, that's 500 knot closure speed, which is fast, man. I mean, all you got to do is reach down, adjust something, or change a radio frequency, and they are right in front of you. That's why even VFR, you try and get flight fouling, which isn't guaranteed separation, but it's better than nothing. And there are some places that are just super congested. Always. Florida's one of them. You get down to that narrow state. I've flown down a couple times to Key West. And man, you get it's not too bad in the northern Florida, like around Ocala, but as you start to get south, as soon as you get west of Orlando and you're heading south, it's not bad until you get up around, you start getting down around Fort Lauderdale. And then you get around Miami, it gets busy for a while. Then on the other side of Miami, you're home free to Key West. But there's a lot of traffic. I mean, you got to be looking. Believe it or not, most mid-air collisions occur on a bright sunny day. And the thinking behind that is, you think you're going to see anything really easy, and you're paying less attention than you would when it's hazy or foggy and you're looking your ass off. I don't know if that's true or not, but and another factor too, like I had a Cherokee 6, which has a real long nose in the front. They say it's 6'6". It was named to seat 6 people, but not really. You can do it, but hardly any fuel and not much baggage. But if you've got a decent load there, a lot of times you want to load the nose, and that's where you put a lot of baggage. And if you remember about 20 years ago, there was a mid-air collision over the Hudson with a Cherokee 6 and a helicopter. And I'll tell you, when you're climbing in a Cherokee 6, that's got a long nose. You really can't see out very well. Now, most people, if you're in a congested area, you're kind of dropping the nose and looking around, but that's not good the whole time, because after all, you're climbing, and the only way to climb is to have the nose up. So some airplanes are just hard to see out of, and that's one of them in a climb. And sure enough, there was a mid-air collision. There's different theories on low-wing airplanes, high-wing, all that kind of stuff. I'd rather see below me than above me, so I like a high-wing airplane. And let me tell you, I've been out in the middle of nowhere before. They have a common traffic advisory frequency where you're going into airports that are uncontrolled and you announce your position voluntarily. And I bet you maybe 5 times in my life, I was out in the middle of nowhere and was announcing my position, and someone would enter the pattern, and I would have given you 10 to 1 odds there wasn't anybody within 100 miles. So it's surprising sometimes where traffic's at. Just kicking it.